Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. I promise to get back to you. As some of you can see, this channel's starting to grow. Hopefully we get to that 10,000 mark soon, because we're going to give away $1,000 to people that need it. Single fathers, single mothers that are struggling. We got a few people on our list that we're looking at. So definitely keep sharing the videos, keep sharing the channel. The other day I had posted something on Facebook, and I said, when two elephants fight, the ground suffers. I want everybody to think about that. And on Sunday, we will discuss that on the live. So definitely just think about that for the weekend. Think about what that means to you. Today I'm going to talk about a kid named Spivey. Spivey was a white Crip that I was in Big Sandy with. He was a white dude in a predominantly black gang. And he went to war. He went to a war where good possibility he could have lost his life over something small, over something stupid that he did. And he went to war with his own people. So don't be surprised, man, if you end up in prison and the dudes that you're kicking it with, the dudes that you're eating with, the dudes that you think got your back are the same dudes that end up stabbing you. I'm going to read from the book from chapter 25. I hope you guys enjoy it. And then we're going to discuss it. We're going to kick it. We're going to talk about, why these types of things happen. I'm beginning to feel like a desperate fowl caught in a hunter's trap. I'm starting to dislike the guys in the car. I dislike Steve more each day. I dislike him the most. Seeing through his manipulation game gets easier when I pay attention to his actions. The decisions he makes, the way he talks to people, all of these paint a different picture. I was never a follower in the free world. When Adam and Dennis first approached me, I felt I had no choice except to buy into the car's ideology and objectives. Everything they sold me about the car, the brotherhood, is turning out to be a farce. Time has a way of revealing things. Most of the guys in the car are simply along for the ride. They were fed the same stories I was. Fear made most of us join the car. Big Sandy leaves men in damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of position. Steve has a way of making people feel like they're indebted to him for being so kind as to allow us into the fold. As a result, when Steve makes a request, no matter what it is, people jump to attention to please the master puppeteer. Assaulting people, making weapons, carrying them to the yard, giving him money, transporting contraband. When he beckons, men answer. I decide not to be one of Steve's do-boys for far too long. Frank feels the same way. It's how he's felt since the first day on the compound. Our pockets are empty, so Frank suggests we find a prison hustle. We juggle ideas back and forth, but ultimately, we decide that moonshining is the only real option we have. Red introduced me to the lucrative business of prison intoxicants. Now Frank wants me to be his partner. Before long, I'm smuggling hundreds of sweet and low packets out of the kitchen. I was agitated when Steve had me doing it for him for free. Now that it benefits me, I have no problem with it. Business kicks off with us cutting up potatoes, opening hundreds of sweet and low sackets, and mixing everything together in a bag. Frank agrees to hide the first batch in his locker. I'll take the next one. In 4 days, we turn water into wine, much like Jesus. I suspect the Lord's process was a little different than ours. We put our makeshift lab together. A few hours later, we have homemade vodka. We both take a small sip of our prison potion. Damn, I say, coughing into my hands. Who the hell has the balls to drink this shit? Oh, you'll see who has the balls to drink it in a minute or two, Frank says, rubbing his hands together like an excited child. We put a small amount of our concoction on a spoon, turn out the lights, and put fire to it. A blue flame dances in the spoon. Like a gypsy belly dancer, the dance is reflected in our eyes. That's gas, Chad. We got gas, and with gas, we got cash. Gas is prison slang for high-quality alcohol. People are always looking for gas. Gas can chase their sorrows away. We fill 8 empty peanut butter jars. I do the math in my head. 8 bottles at $8 apiece. We have $320 in jailhouse money. We get $160 apiece. Word spreads that the 2 white boys have some serious rocket fuel for sale. On a Friday evening, it takes all of 20 minutes to sell out. We timed things so we had our juice ready for the start of the weekend. Even in prison, weekend is party time. Frank and I have our own version of Grey Goose. With our first success, our business relationship is cemented. We head to the local hangout, Red's room, where he is tattooing Sad Boy, the Serrano's gang member I played handball with when I first arrived. He sips his peanut butter jar of prison vodka as the needle drills into his skin. Sad Boy has a sidekick, Droopy, with him, his own jar in hand. Even though we are different races and in different cars, the five of us have become close. If anything happened with the blacks, our car would join forces with the Mexicans. Feeling good off the moonshine, Sad Boy starts imitating Steve. It's uncanny. He's doing it almost perfectly. Chad, Frank, I need both of you to start wearing your boots to chow so you can hide Sweet and Low in them for me. Don't forget the gang members have to go. Sad Boy says this in a fake Boston accent, missing as many R's as he can. He knows we disdain Steve. Red pulls the needle from Sad Boy's arm and doubles over laughing. Frank and I are in tears. Droopy joins in. He's playing Dennis. Steve is bald-headed, skinny, no eyebrows or facial hair. When he talks, he sounds like he just sucked a helium-filled balloon down his throat. This guy is my leader? What an idiot I am. This thought in conjunction with Sad Boy's jokes sent me into hysterical laughter. For the first time in a long time, I am laughing so hard, I begin to cry. Grateful that the small jokes take me out of prison. The gang that Sad Boy belongs to, the Serranos, is the most serious gang in federal prison in my view. They demand respect and have no problem turning to extreme violence at the drop of a hat to achieve their goals. Serranos have each other's back no matter what the situation or who the problem is with. It doesn't matter if it's another prisoner, a guard, or even the warden. They will attack like a pack of wild dogs if ordered to do so by their shot caller. The shot caller is usually a black hand. Black hands are the men who run the Mexican mafia, who in turn run the Serranos. The Serranos have a lot of rules. One of their rules is that they are not allowed to do business with blacks. Sad Boy was accused of drinking with a black prisoner while at an FCI in Texas. He says the accusations were false, but it resulted in him being beaten off the yard. The concomitant security level increase landed him at Big Sandy. Droopy had his own problems at another FCI. He has a penchant for heroin, so if I had to guess, his transfer to the Bluegrass State likely stems from his opiate addiction. Droopy is a fearless felon. 2 or 3 times a week he sneaks into the lieutenant's office, where staff members keep their personal items. The office door is never locked, almost inviting Droopy to stop by. He usually leaves with a pack of cigarettes or a can of chewing tobacco to pay for his growing heroin habit. Droopy's petty larceny does not persuade staff to stop leaving their things laying around. If they continue to leave their things laying around, they will continue to find their way into the hands of this wonderful magician. Today he is eating a crab salad with his alcohol. Knowing crab salad is not on the commissary, I ask, where did you get that? Oh, check it out, Holmes. I got hungry, so I stopped by the lieutenant's office and grabbed it out of the fridge. I seen it there. Thought they left it for me. He sticks his tongue out as he laughs. Again, I find myself crying from the laughter along with everyone else. Man, I ain't never going to get this tattoo done with you crazy motherfuckers in here, Red says when he can catch a breath. They say there is a fool born every day, and every time Droopy strikes the lieutenant's office, the saying is manifested. The fire alarm startles us, breaking up our laughter. No one seems to know what is going on. This is the first time any of us heard a fire alarm go off in prison. Droopy leaves the room to investigate. When he returns, Sad Boy asks, what the fuck are they doing? Are we in elementary school doing fire drills now? Nah, Holmes, they said that dumbass white Crip kid hit the fire alarm on accident, Droopy replies. Who, Spivey, I ask? Yeah, that's him. Everyone's outside. Let's go, men. Fire in the building. Everyone out. Staff are in the unit ushering us outside. Panic strikes the dorm. Men scramble to hide knives and other contraband. More staff are swarming the unit, ushering all of us into line so we can be patted down for shanks, drugs, cell phones, or other contraband. A Puerto Rican guy named Vic from New York, who I have become friends with, is caught wrapping a menacing-looking knife into clothes on his way to hide it in the washing machine. Vic has a lot of influence in here. 2 guards cuff him up. The look on his face is worse than a wild bull at a radio. As Vic walks past me in cuffs, he comments, that dumbass white boy just fucked up my close-to-home transfer. I know that he is talking about Spivey. It won't be long before everyone knows he is the culprit. Once we are all searched, we are led outside. Staff rips every cell apart. Garbage bags filled with wine are carted out of the unit, paraded for all to see. Cells where weapons are found get locked, while the people housed in them are located, cuffed, and escorted to the shoe. This was an unexpected shakedown. No one was prepared. Men are upset that they lost knives and contraband. Blood is the only way to pay for the wrongs, as if blood fixes the problem. Spivey looks like a deer caught in headlights when he hears a DC prisoner call out, who the stupid motherfucker pulled the fire alarm? For a long moment, no one responds. I stare at Spivey, wondering what he's going to do. After another long moment, we hear his voice. I did this shit on accident. What? Accident? Spivey's eyes widen as he swallows. It was an accident, bro. Accident? You got everyone fucked up, Slim. I said, my bad, bro. The shit was not intentional. Before long, the DC prisoners are talking with the Crips. The shot caller for Spivey's gang lives in our unit. After the DC prisoners are done talking to the Crips leader, Spivey gets summoned over to their area. Every car is responsible for their own people. Each car is given an opportunity to discipline those who violate convict rules. Through his own ignorance, Spivey has violated prison rules. To prevent things from escalating, his own people have to deal with him. Small things can go from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. White prisoners and black gangs are easy marks when they transgress or break rules. In most cases, black gang members don't really want a white person in their gang. So when he does violate prison conduct, hurting him comes easy. The cries for Spivey's blood ensure his imminent assault. Prison politics have dictated Spivey's fate. The sole atonement for his transgressions is the shedding of his blood, as if we are stuck in Old Testament times. All eyes are on Spivey. He knows what's in store. Despite the fact that violence is waiting to greet him, he is courageous. He does not take the walk of shame. Not checking in could cost him his life. He chooses to gamble. Most of the white prisoners consider Spivey a race traitor. This fuels their hatred of him. Some blacks dislike him because they believe he is out of place. Championing the attack on him was easy. Before long, Spivey is in a cell with one of his Crip brothers to be disciplined. Banging and slamming can be heard coming from the cell. It takes no more than 5 minutes. The two combatants emerge from the cell. Spivey has a swollen eye, but the man sent in to med out discipline looks worse. Blood trickles from his lip. The shot callers for DC and New York are not pleased. None of Spivey's blood has been shed. This prompts the Crip shot caller to call for a second round. The second time will likely be worse. It is. Two Crip gang members go into the cell, Spivey in tow. One man stands in front of the cell door blocking any escape. The banging begins again. As I predicted, round 2 was less favorable to Spivey. The door is being slammed into. It's probably Spivey attempting to escape. The man holding the door looks in. Once he is satisfied by what he sees, he moves away, allowing Spivey to exit. Spivey comes out swinging. His fists while his two attackers pursue him into the day room. One with a shiny piece of metal, the other with a padlock tied to a belt. Spivey retreats, his face a bloody mess, stab wounds to his neck and back. He stumbles to the guard's office in search of a reprieve. He yells for a nurse. The cop panics. Fumbling for his radio, he knocks it to the ground. The guard throws himself at the radio, grabs it with both hands, and hits the deuces. Once again, staff members fill the unit. They order everyone to lock in. Surprisingly, everyone complies without protest. They know in the eyes of the decision makers, this is a minor incident. This lock-in won't last long. Blood still dripping off him, Spivey addresses the unit. He's shouting, "Y'all a bunch of drama king-ass bitches, crying like suckers." He walks out of the unit with his head down, a man wounded both physically and emotionally. What a brutal assault like this does to a man's mentality is interesting. These attacks have turned many men paranoid. I have not faced a brutal assault, by witnessing these assaults makes me wonder when someone is going to decide that I have done something wrong and deserve to be attacked. After all, this is Big Sandy. It has to happen at some point. With the blood cleaned up, within an hour the cells are unlocked for all of us to mingle. Tonight is American Idol night, something many prisoners enjoy. Even the tough guys bring their chairs and sit and watch the show. Like the rest, I park my chair in front of the television 2 times a week to tune in. The show is another small escape to a different place. Happiness, excitement, sadness. The program has all of these. Sometimes I slip off into a daydream. In those dreams, I am at the show, singing along, clapping with the free people to the beat of the song. In reality, though, I am still in my hard plastic chair, my feet planted to the hard, cold concrete floor, and the music is only zipping through my headphones. I look around. I want to see my reality. Most of us are dead men walking. Life seems to have no meaning when you know the rest of it will be spent filled with violence, concrete, and blood. Once you give up, nothing matters. When your life is gone, there's nothing anyone can do to hurt you. I say a silent prayer. I pray that I never tread those waters where I throw the towel in, where I quit on life. For now, my mind focuses on tasting freedom again. It's the only thing that keeps me walking forward each day. Like Nelson Mandela, I am on my own long walk to freedom. You know, that's just some of the chapter, right? And Spivey, he's the kid with the hat and the thumbnail. We're going to talk about that a little bit. You know, and I address it a little bit in the book, but Usually, man, when you're a white dude in a black gang or, you know, just, I mean, this is just prison. This isn't no racial shit. This is prison. You know, you got some homies that are like, yo, that's my dude. I respect him. And they're cool with you, man. And there's other dudes that act like they're cool with you, but they really dislike you. They feel like you don't belong. You know, I've seen that with white dudes in black gangs or, you know, even some Hispanic gangs. I've seen that with white dudes that become Muslim in prison. You know, where some of the dudes embrace you, man. Like, you're their brother. You're their homie, man. You're balls to the wall. But there are dudes that are like, nah, man, that dude don't belong. And they hate on you and they try to, you know, push the agenda or push the envelope, so to speak, right? And that's what they did with Spivey, man. They pushed the agenda, man. There had to be some punishment, but did they really have to go stab him in the neck and in the, you know, the back and do all that wild stuff? No. And I talked about, you know, the fact that he didn't check in. Let me tell you something. A lot of people check in at Big Sandy. Back then, people get off the bus and won't even go to the compound. Some dudes get off the bus and they're like, nah, I'm out of here, man, within hours. They go, you know, hit that turn. They go to the lieutenant's office. They knock on the cop's door. They go to medical. They got all kinds of ways of doing it, man, but they get the hell out of there, you know? And sometimes it's like, it's mind-boggling, man. How the people that you eat with, the people that you kick it with, the people that you think got your back will be the same dudes that will stab you. I promise you that will happen. It's just how it goes, man. And you know, towards the end of that chapter, I talked about how people give up, right? And I want you to think about this for a minute because it's important. You know, I used to tell people like, and I said this in a video the other day, man, are you really willing to kill this dude? Are you really willing to go this far? Because a lot of times, man, this stuff ain't worth it. But there are times when people are like, you know what? It is what it is, man. I had enough. I'm going all the way. And sometimes you get people that fire at you, right? They fire at you and, you know, they think that, you know, sometimes it's just minor. And people respond, man, in ways that other people can't handle it. You know, it happens all the time where, you know, some dudes might be talking, you know, you see it a lot with young kids, man, where people are talking shit on Facebook or they're beefing over a chick. And dude's like, man, it's whatever. And I seen it in prison, man. I seen dude faking, acting like he had a knife and he wasn't willing to do what the other guy was willing to do. And the other guy was willing to stab him, willing to kill him. And he did. He got up and he killed him. And we see that with kids, man. So when you're talking shit, are you really willing, man, to take what's going to come with it? Some people are. Some people aren't. A lot of people aren't. And I used to say in prison, man, sometimes it's all right to give people a way out. Sometimes people want a way out, man. And, you know, my brother had told me something a few weeks ago where he was like, think about what he said. He was like, hey, when you're beefing with somebody, you know, it's all good when we're beefing, right? It's all good. But when we do what we got to do and it don't work out for you, then it's not good no more. Now you're doing other things that you shouldn't do, like calling the police or, you know, talking shit to other people, things like that. And you see a lot of that, man, in the world. But think about it. Is it really worth your life? Is it? Some people think it is. Some people think that it's not. And sometimes after serving all this time in prison, I get out here and I feel like, man, I love my freedom and I like being free. And I like being a different person, being the person that I was before compared to the person that I am today. I'm just happy that that's gone. I'm happy that I no longer have to be that person. And I tell people, man, I'm a gentleman now, right? I used to tell people this in prison. But don't get it twisted, man. Because once upon a time, I was a dude that was willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. You just want people to be respectful, man. You want people to be courteous. You want people to give you back the same way that you treat them. And sometimes people have a distorted way of thinking about certain things, right? They think things that aren't always true. You see things in different lights and different perceptions. You know, I went to a parole class last night where we talked about that, about perception. Sometimes things can happen in your life that make you angry. And it's about how you react. Sometimes, man, I don't always react the way that I should. Keeping it real. Sometimes I should react and just let things go, man. Let things blow by. But sometimes I get so angry where I'm like, and I have to stop myself. And I have to ask myself, is it worth going back to prison? And 99% of the time, it's not. I mean, there are things that, you know, people just don't accept. And people don't accept certain things that's different for different people. That's the moral of the story. That's the moral of the story. Again, man, prison is real. All your friends, all the people you're kicking it with, you could end up in a cell with them, man, where they're stabbing you. You know, Spivey ended up getting stabbed over there. He went to USP Lee. You know, 6-7 months later, I ended up in USP Lee with Spivey and my homeboy Dog. And me and Spivey got pretty cool, man. You know, I respected the kid. He went out like a soldier. But sometimes going out like a soldier could cost you your life. Spivey, if you're watching the video, man, hit me up, man. Let's do an interview. So until tomorrow, man, Blood on the Razor Wire TV, think about what I said. When two elephants fight, the ground suffers. We'll talk about it Sunday night on that live. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. If you haven't done it already, grab the book. Blood on the Razor Wire. I think you'll enjoy it. Until tomorrow, we're out.